Hi everyone, welcome back to Little Books Great Stories. I'm Samantha Nair. Schools are opening, people are starting to go to work, people are starting to live their normal lives, going for little gatherings, going out to the grocery store, buying normal supplies and all. And slowly people are getting tired of taking these safety precautions. But that doesn't mean that COVID-19 is getting tired. What is social distancing? Well, social distancing is simply just standing 6 feet away from each other. It may sound very easy, but it is very hard because as human beings, we are always wanting to go and give our friends a hug or talk to someone, sit right next to them, and all that stuff. But since this COVID-19 is here, we have to stay away from each other in order to slow the spread. But socially distanced does not mean socially disconnected. You might not always be able to social distance, so we have to practice an even stronger thing, wearing masks. COVID-19 is a virus that can affect people predominantly through their respiratory tract, which is why we wear masks. Masks are very powerful because so if a person sneezes or coughs nearby you, or if they're talking, then water droplets and fluids from their nose and mouth will travel. They can travel up to 6 feet far, and they can get on you. And if you're not wearing a mask, it can get through your nose and your mouth, and it can reach your respiratory tract, which is why we wear a mask. When wearing a mask, that will cover up your nose and mouth, so it won't be able to go through there. Some people even use a face shield, which is even better because it covers up your whole face and your eyes. Before wearing a mask, you always have to sanitize your hands, or even better, wash them with soap and water. And you are not supposed to touch the actual mask part. Instead, just pull on the strings. So, there's my mask. So, to tell which side is top or bottom, the top part is always the part with the metal string, something. Yeah, that is to help it make a shape around your nose so it can actually stay on your face. So now, to put a mask on properly. And of course you can tell which is the front and the back because the front usually has like the color, the back is usually white. Okay, now put it around your ears. And if you need to adjust it, you can touch the corners maybe, and use the string to pull it down so it touches the bottom of your chin. And then, there you go. And you might want to adjust it so it actually fits well. You'll also have to adjust it by pulling it, so then the folds will unfold and it will actually touch the bottom of your chin. And then, there you go. And make it a practice not to touch your mask while you're outside. And there's some things that people do with their masks which really aren't good at all. One thing that they do is they pull it down under their nose and keep it like this. But that basically the whole point of a mask is to cover your nose and your mouth, but they do this. I guess it's because, it's uncomfortable to breathe with a mask on. So people do this, but you shouldn't do that because you can contract it through your nose. Then something else that people do is when someone comes by, they pull the mask down under their mouth. And it looks like a beard, like this. And they do that to talk nicely. It is much easier to talk with your mask like this, but still, then you're exposing your nose and your mouth, which is really bad. And once you come back from outside, or from wherever you were, once you come back home, you always have to dispose your mask if it's not meant for you to reuse it. Always dispose a surgical mask or a 3-ply mask like this. And when you dispose it, when you take it off, always remember, only pull on the strings. Take it off with the strings, by the strings, and don't ever touch it because it might have the virus on it. And when you throw it away, preferably it should be a trash can with a lid, so then it won't go out into the air. One thing I've noticed recently is that when we go to the grocery store or the shops, there's always the parents or adults wearing masks, but they have their little kids sitting in the cart and they don't have any masks or face shields or anything on. Usually children show very mild symptoms to COVID, and sometimes they're even asymptomatic. So you'll never know if they have it, if they're positive or negative. But studies show that children can also transmit COVID to adults and other children. It is your social responsibility to your community to put masks on for your children and make them follow the safety precautions. Because your child might be positive, they can still transmit the virus to other adults and whose immune systems might be very weak, and that could put them in a great deal of danger. When you come back home from the store or wherever, you have to take off your mask, you have to wash your hands with soap and water. Not only that, but also take a nice clean shower so you don't leave any traces of the virus anywhere on you. And now you're free to just relax at home, do whatever. And remember, COVID-19 is not something to panic about. As long as you take the safety precautions, you wear a mask, you wash your hands, you social distance, you're fine. And whenever you get the chance, you should go to like a park or some very open place where there's not much traffic or there aren't very many people in crowds. So then you can take off your mask, you don't need a mask there, you can breathe freely. This is important because your body needs the natural microbial flora in the air to prevent vitamin deficiencies, strengthen your immune system, and build antibodies. So stay safe and stay positive. Happy COVID times! Just kidding. That's weird. I said that's so awkward.